Hello, everybody. Again, good afternoon. I'm in my car. Uh, it's me, Kiki. Like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. You really can share this video. I don't know about the other swinger video I put out. You might not need to share that one. Who knows? But this one, definitely comment, like, share, subscribe. All that good stuff. Um, this is brand new for me, doing a real review show. But every week we're gonna review the third season of Star Trek Discovery. If you have not watched Star Trek Discovery, first of all, you need to watch it. Second of all, you're missing out. Third of all, it's a good show. It has come under fire and criticisms from different people. But this is the third season. It just started. It's every Thursday on CBS Access. You have to have CBS Access to watch these episodes. So I know that we're bombarded by numerous streaming channels out there. There's so many now. There's HBO, there's Peacock, and all this stuff. But it's definitely worth CBS Access. I have CBS Access. There are other things on there that my mother watches. But it's not even that expensive. I don't know what the price point is, but I don't know. Y'all look that up. But I don't know what the price point is. But it's on CBS Access every Thursday. If you don't know I'm sure most people know what Star Trek is, but Star Trek Discovery is the new show. This is the third season. It's debuted this is 3.5 years ago. It's been 18 months since season 2 because of COVID, because of delays, because of God knows what. But it's been delayed. But this is the third season, and it takes place before the original Star Trek. Yes, before the original Star Trek. So in the timeline of Star Trek, it's before Kirk and Spock Nim. For those of you who what are you talking about? But Kirk and Spock Nim. So yeah, it takes place. They've been accused of retconning a bunch of stuff, and I see people's point. I don't like what they did with the Klingons. At all. I'm a Klingon lover, Klingon fan, so I didn't like that at all. But then they try to redeem it in the second season by doing the mirror universe thing and all that. Oh, spoiler alerts, by the way. Yes, we're going to be talking about things that went on in the seasons. And then also, I'm going to have to talk about this episode, and I can't not spoil it, but, so far we're just giving an overview, but yeah, there's going to be spoilers in here. So if you don't want to ruin it, you need to go watch it. Just go watch it. Just go now. Just go live. I'm sure some of you have jailbroken Fire Sticks, so you can get it bootleg illegally. You know who you are, but do your thing. But yeah, CBS Access. And so the third season started. I watched the episode this morning. Here's a few of my observations. My observations are a little bit different, because I really feel like if you are a black person, there are good shows out there. I know a lot of us watch Watchmen and Lovecraft Country. That is about to end. The season's about to end. But, I know that there are black people out there who like Star Trek. I know there's a bunch of y'all out there all over the world. Star Trek is popular all over the world. More popular internationally, I would say, more than Star Wars is. Star Trek, the old Trek, Next Generation, has a very huge universal appeal. I watched Star Trek originally when I was a kid. I started watching the Next Generation first. I never watched the old Trek. I thought it was weird. I had relatives that watched it, and I'm just sitting there going, this is weird. This is old people running around and in the color. It was just way too technicolor, too old school for me at that time. So Next Generation came out. I was about 12 years old, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. I watched it. I fell in love with it. I watched Deep Space Nine. I watched Voyager. I did not watch Enterprise. I love Scott Bakula. I love Quantum Leap. I'm a sci-fi head, but Enterprise, the first 5 episodes, I was like, okay, that was too much for me. In the timeline, Enterprise, I believe, is first, and then Discovery, and then Star Trek, the original. So that's if we're going in the, then there's the J.J. Abrams movies and all that. So Discovery has been accused of being too J.J. Abrams-ish. The technology is a little bit too high for what's going on. There was an easy way they could have explained this, like saying that it was in another universe, but they like, no, they said Discovery is canon, even though the tech don't really match up, and that's the problem with the old Trek and the new Trek. The tech doesn't really match up. That's a big complaint. The characters and the history doesn't really kind of match up. They are making another spin-off show about Christopher Pike and Spock and Number One, which should be freaking awesome because I love Christopher Pike and I'm here for all of it. But anyway, back to season 3, debuted. It picks up right where the other one left off at. And if you have watched the seasons, they had to go into the future because of the computer system control, and then Michael Burnham, played by Sanaa Lathan Green, who, if you haven't watched the show, she's Sasha from The Walking Dead. That's where I know her from. That's the reason why I watched the show. And again, I think that as African American people, this is a show that we should definitely support because Sanaa Lathan Green does the damn thing. She acts her ass off in this show. Michael Burnham, I had problems with her character like the first season. The second season, she really came into her own, I felt like. And I believe she gets a bad rap because she is a woman and because she's a black woman. I think some people have ingrained biases towards her character. And then there are some really objectionable opinions because I didn't like the way her character was written the first season. She's supposed to be like the adoptive sister of Spock. If y'all, spoiler alert, but yeah, she's supposed to be, which I didn't really think that was even necessary to bring Spock and Sarek and Spock's mother, and I didn't think that was necessary. To me, she could have been just adopted by some random ass like Vulcan family, and I would have been okay with that. I didn't like her name, Michael Burnham, because I thought that was just dumb. It's like they originally written a character for a man, but then changed it to be a woman, but didn't change the name. I don't know. Maybe, it costs too much money to go in here and rewrite it. I don't know, or retype it. But I don't understand the name Michael Burnham. Like, they never really explained, like, was she named for somebody? If they would explain that would have made a little bit more sense to me. But okay, I'm just going to go with it, okay? But the fact that she's not the captain of the ship. So that's a first, and I thought that was kind of weird. But then after a while, I'm like, okay, I'll go with it. They kind of had like a revolving captain, like the first 2 seasons. I don't know what about this season is going off, but I'm so glad that the Discovery crew had to go into the future and get away from this timeline and all those things about the timeline. The timeline is retcon. Oh my god, and people complaining about that. People who don't even like Star Trek. Then some people accuse of Star Trek of being woke. Let me tell you something right now. Y'all listening, people in the back. Y'all way in the back. Way in the back. You, yes, you in the back. You. I'm talking to you. I may not be talking to you because you understand. Sci-fi in itself, youngsters, because a lot of people out here saying this are young people. I'm grown enough to understand and educated enough to understand. And if you look at the history of science fiction, and the history of science fiction in particular, and don't lump it with fantasy, because fantasy is in the same genre of realm of fanciful fictional storytelling. But to me, sci-fi is on its own level. Sci-fi has always been woke. Sci-fi has always been a SJW thing. Gene Roddenberry, the king of freaky, kinky SJW-ness of the 60s. I mean, Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future is very, if you look at it, socialist. Nobody has any money. There's no wealth. Everybody's in peace, prosperity with the Federation and everything. That is a very subversive, anti-capitalistic, anti-American thing. Gene Roddenberry, his visions and the other shows that he had in his mind to create that went further than Star Trek, down the realm of politics, was not recognized for the genius that it was until years later. Like, really, like, people didn't understand how, the original Star Trek was on for like, what, two and a half seasons? Gene Roddenberry was a man ahead of his time. He was truly a visionary. He had some good writers around him that made it happen, but he was a visionary. But Star Trek and Star Wars particular has always been woke. George Lucas was a peacenik, beatnik, anti-war kind of person. Most people that write sci-fi have written sci-fi to push the boundaries of humanity and what society. Arthur C. Clarke is another one. It just, a lot of these people who say this, they only watch Star Trek and Star Wars, they only watch movies and TVs. They don't really get into the deeper literature of the basis of where this sci-fi comes from. Arthur C. Clarke, Frank Herbert. I mean, Dune is such a exercise in like anti-tyranny. Like, these are things that young people don't read. They don't read. But anyway, enough of my rant. But I can go on and on about the level of ignorance of how people are trying to reinvent or reimagine what sci-fi is. And sci-fi has always been subversive. It's always been anti-communism, anti-war, anti-authoritarian. I mean, it always touches on issues that are always controversial. So, Star Trek Discovery, hits on that. I mean, the fact that people have to argue over this is just like the whole point of Star Trek. Like, nobody cares anymore. There in this season there's going to be non-binary and transgender people. I'm sure some people have a problem with that. In the future, I know that people find this shocking. In the future, yes, there will be hopefully, dear universe, hopefully there will be transgendered people. There are people who will defy gender. There will be people who are black, who are an alien. If we discover alien civilizations, there will be all types of people. There will be different religions and different faiths. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years in the future. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if any of this is going to last. Anything. Capitalism, our countries. When we go off planet and become more planet centric, you're going to be defining not by country, but by the fact that you're a human. And you're going to be able to define your humanity by what? We don't know. But once we get off this planet, things are going to change of how we see colonies and people. I mean, once technology catches up with us and we grasp our explorer spirit again, which I feel has been totally lost. Like, I feel like, the earth is like a shit show. But if we do ever get it together, which I don't have any kind of, positivity that we will ever get off this planet and get it together. I know not in my lifetime or my kids' lifetime, but hopefully one day we will. And hopefully it won't be like Star Trek with the United Federation planet. Maybe it won't be like that. But maybe something close to it. But I think Star Trek as a whole tries to reach for that. So anyway, back to what I was saying. In season 3, we find Michael Burnham. She has made a wormhole with her. She has this badass suit that she wears. And I like her as a character. Like I said, I'm not going to really talk about this episode. I'm just talking about my feelings about what I feel about this show. And I like her as a character. She, in this episode, she showed a lot of vulnerability. A lot of emotions, highs and lows of being, okay, I'm all alone out here. Did Discovery get blown up? I mean, she acted her ass off and displayed a lot of emotions. And then the guy who hits her while she was flying through space through this wormhole leading Discovery is this guy named Booker, or Book, whatever. And he's not human. He's from another planet. Spoiler alert again. And they have a really good chemistry, and it's just good to see two brown-skinned people, together on a sci-fi show. Like, this is something that we rarely see, two brown-skinned people. I don't care if they male, female, alien, whatever. It's just we rarely get to see a couple that are brown-skinned people. And then the dude that, it starts out showing a scene of a guy who's, I guess he's been waiting for the Federation like for generations. He too is a Indian man. I'm like, hallelujah. Okay, great. We know that like black people and Indians with a very, I would say, Southeast Asian sounding name, if I got the region correct. I hope I did. and look that he's still holding it down for generations, looking for Starfleet. That was great. I like the fact that there was a cat in the episode because, I go hard for my felines. And he said something that I didn't miss at all, that the cat is a queen. So she's a queen. So apparently, like, this cat is a queen of some place somewhere. I don't know if this cat can talk. It may have abilities. I don't know. It may be a cat colony out there with a whole cat hierarchy on a cat planet. I don't know, but I'm here for all of it. I love the fighting scenes. The Andorians looked really weird. I have to say, I'm just like, they were weird color, but then again, this is like 930 years in the future, so things may have evolved since then. And then the other person, like the green women, or was he a green man? I'm really not quite sure. Like I said, the special effects are great on this show. The makeup, like I said, I didn't like the Klingons. I didn't like the way the Andorian looks. They just look too plasticky. Like, I'm not trying to nitpick, but I'm just like looking at their face going, ooh, he's a bit fugly. And I like the fact that he was carrying an endangered species of some type that belonged in some place called Sanctuary. We learned at the Federation there was something called the Great Scourge or something where like things blew up. I got to go back and rewatch that because, my kids were trying to watch it with me too. But yeah, Burnham and the dude book, and the guy who plays it is David Aloja or something like that. I'm pronouncing his last name wrong. But yeah, they both did great job, and they have great chemistry, and the acting was great, and I was here for all of it. And as I tell people that if you're looking for a new show to watch after Lovecraft Country, I know Star Trek is a tall glass of water. I know but you can go back and watch Discovery from season 1 on CBS Access. Go back and watch it. Give it a try. I liked it. I think you should like it too. Again, I'm supporting my girl Sanaya. She's great. I'm so happy to see a black woman centric sci-fi show. So that's like, yay, yes, queen. So I'm happy to see that. So, give it, like I said, Star Trek is not for everybody, but I'm going to be talking about the episodes. I'm going to give probably a more in-depth review, but right now I just want to give my first thoughts and first takes. And that's what I took away from the show, that it was an explosive beginning, and I'm really eager to see more. So until next week, my friends, like, share, subscribe, comment below. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm going to get out this car. I got grocery. Look. Your girl got groceries, okay? I'm going to go eat the groceries. No, not that when y'all nasty. Okay, but anyway. Bye.